So as the Bears begin their head coaching search here, actually, it'll be next Monday after the season is over with. One of the names that keep coming up as far as candidates the Bears will be looking at is current Washington Commanders offensive coordinator Kliff Kingsbury. And every time I hear his name, it makes my skin crawl because I don't want him. I don't think he's the best choice for the job. And frankly, the main thing that people keep harping on, his relationship with Caleb Williams, is vastly overrated. Welcome back to Bears Yard. This your boy Vipe, and this relationship that people keep alluding to between Kliff Kingsbury and Caleb Williams is very overrated in my opinion. So Vipe, what do you mean? Well, back in 2023, Kliff Kingsbury was on staff at USC at the same time Caleb Williams was the quarterback there. It was Caleb's last year before he left for the NFL. But Kliff Kingsbury, it's not like he was coaching Caleb Williams. If you actually look at his actual job title on the staff, Kliff Kingsbury was a senior offensive assistant. It's not like he was coaching Caleb Williams, or it's not like he had any hand in developing Caleb Williams. He was on staff more as a resource to Caleb Williams in his preparation to go to the NFL. And to get more context on this, I want you to listen to the clip from yesterday's Hoge and Jahns podcast as they're talking to Diana Ruffini about Kliff Kingsbury's candidacy for head coach of the Chicago Bears. Roll the clip.
Where do you think Kliff Kingsbury belongs in this conversation? Because he's another one with previous coaching experience, mistakes to learn from.
Yeah, I find him fascinating in this because I saw Kliff in the summer and I hadn't seen him in a while because he'd been off and traveling the world and doing things that we probably all wish we could do. And I just asked him straight up, I'm like, do you want to be a coach again? And he's like, I got to tell you, like, I love being a coordinator. Like, I don't want to worry about all that stuff. Like, it's so great to just work and think about play calling. And I will say, because I've known him for a long time, that was the happiest I'd seen him in a while. And this is even before the Commanders had success. This is just training camp. And so I've always kept that in mind, and just having some conversations with people close to him too over the last few weeks. I think he's going to have interest. I don't think he's going to be thirsty though. I don't think this is one of these situations where if the Chicago Bears don't court him in the most, over the top way, he's going to be hurt. I think if the Chicago Bears just do their diligence and meet with him and see what he's about, I think he will definitely have interest in coaching Caleb Williams. How could you not?
Yeah, and there's that connection too. But sometimes I also feel like that connection has been a little bit overrated.
Yeah, I think he has said that before. I think he's commented on it publicly about like, yeah, I was there, but it's not like he's in the trenches with the guy for 3 years.
I don't think he was allowed to coach him really.
Yeah, there were like rules about it too, and also that wasn't like even Caleb's best season.
Yeah, exactly. That's a great point. No, that's a great point.
So Adam Hoge said he even feels like this Kliff Kingsbury Caleb Williams relationship is overrated. But let's dive a little bit more deeper into that. When Kingsbury was at USC in 2023 with Caleb Williams, he was a senior offensive assistant. In Kingsbury's own words, he said that he was kind of just a resource there as much as he could be. That was a good thing. Lincoln Riley allowed him to be the good cop and offer any knowledge and anything he could share, particularly with Williams. He said they already knew Williams was going, alluding to him going in the first round of the NFL draft. It was a kind of a foregone conclusion that he would be the first pick. It was just being a resource in any way I could be, helping him mentally prepare for the type of things that were ahead. So as I said earlier, Kingsbury was just a resource to prepare Caleb Williams for the NFL draft and NFL life in general. He was not somebody who coached or molded Caleb Williams. That fell on Lincoln Riley because obviously, as we know, Lincoln coached Caleb at Oklahoma, and then when Lincoln Riley left Oklahoma to go to USC, Caleb Williams followed him to USC. So Lincoln Riley is the one who has the strong bond with Caleb and helped develop him into the quarterback that he is today. It was not Kliff Kingsbury. And even Caleb, talking about Kliff Kingsbury, said this. Talking about football, talking about experiences that he's had as a head coach, offensive coordinator, and things like that at the pro level is what I got from him, Williams said. He could give me that great feedback on this next NFL level that I knew I was probably heading to at that time. That was big for me, being able to listen to him and obviously build a relationship with him, knowing the QBs he's been around and similarities in some of the offenses that I've been in or offense I was in college. It was great to have those moments with him. It's helped me for these moments now. Again, alluding to Kingsbury being a resource and not necessarily somebody that coached him per se. Now, I'm not going to totally poo-poo Kingsbury and his experience. Obviously, he was the head coach at Texas Tech. He helped develop Patrick Mahomes and Johnny Manziel. And then when he became the head coach for the Arizona Cardinals back in 2019, he had a hand in developing or helping mold Kyler Murray, who is one of the better quarterbacks in the NFL. But his head coaching stint with the Cardinals really didn't go all that smoothly. I mean, first year they went 5-10-1. Then the second year they went 8-8, then 11-6, and then in his final season there, they went 4-13, and he was fired. He did have one playoff appearance while he was at Arizona. But again, I feel like the Kliff Kingsbury hype is it's based on something that doesn't really exist. It's based on what people think his relationship with Caleb is, when in actuality it's not. Not to mention the fact that the Bears already interviewed Kliff Kingsbury for their offensive coordinator position at the beginning of the season, and they passed him over for Shane Waldron. Now, we all know that was a mistake, but they interviewed 9 people for that position, with Kingsbury being one of the 9 that were interviewed, and he got passed over. So I don't even know why Kliff Kingsbury would want to interview for the head coaching job, considering he already got passed over by the Bears for the OC position earlier this year. And even Diana alluded to in that podcast piece that he doesn't necessarily want to be a head coach. He's happy being an offensive coordinator. So I think a lot of people who are trying to tie Kingsbury to the Bears job, I don't think he's going to be seriously considering the job. I mean, obviously, if the Bears want to talk to him, he may talk to them, but I think we need to just eliminate the Kingsbury hype. I don't think it's going to happen. I think there are much better candidates out there besides Kingsbury. If we're going to go with somebody that's been a head coach previously, you know where I'm at with this. Give me Mike Vrabel. But Bear fans, how do you feel about Kliff Kingsbury? Do you feel like we should give him serious consideration? Or do you agree with me that we need to just get through this Kingsbury phase and move on to more viable candidates? Drop a comment and make sure you subscribe to The Yard for more opinionated Chicago Bears talk.